DJI Mavic Mini 2, that's actually not the name of the drone that DJI is going to release on the 5th of November. It seems DJI has chosen to shorten down the names of their products, and they are actually ditching the Mavic name, shortening it up to DJI Mini 2. That was at least what we saw watching the unboxing video from Our Beatific World that was posted yesterday, or depending on when this video is coming out, the day before. Right after the unboxing video that gave us a rare glimpse into what to expect when the DJI Mini 2 is going to be released. But right after, he posted another video where he was presenting us with a tour around the box, as well as some additional video of the drone itself. This is what we're going to take a closer look at, combined with me trolling through all the comments for the various videos, including my own, trying to dig out the questions that we haven't been able to answer yet. So I made a list, so let's just start from the top of that. Again, like in the last video, I don't want to steal the fame away from this guy that had this fantastic opportunity to get his hands on the first DJI Mini 2. So I highly encourage you to go and visit his channel and watch this video in the full length, and maybe drop a nice comment below the video that you have been sent by Tech Drone Media. That would be a really nice gesture that would be appreciated by me and hopefully also by Our Beatific World. Only seconds after the video have been posted, the first comment about, oh, this is fake, DJI never told us anything about this, so how can he get access to a drone like that, like the first one in the world? Yes, fuck up happens, maybe it was deliberately, I don't know, but I think this video is absolutely 100% real, because you would have to go through a ton of hoops to make a fake hoax like this. Especially because what we see on the video does add up pretty well with all the information that I've been gathering on the famous water pipes laying around here. So I'm 100% convinced that this is a real video. One of the arguments was that the box that he picked up in the store was not the same box that he showed when he went back home. The image is clearly different. So let's jump over to the other video, and then I will show you why I think it's not fake. See here. This is what the box looked like from the counter when he picked it up. But if you just scroll here in the video, you see, if you look at the other side of the box, there's the other image. So it's not fake, it's just him that flipped the box. There are two different images on the back side and the front side of the case. By the way, do you like my content? If you do, then consider subscribing to my weekly tips, tests and tutorials. So let's just jump here to the more interesting part here. There's a little bit about you need to be 16 years old to fly the drone. Don't know why you should do that. It's made for iPhone. There's no surprises in that. And then he's sort of pulling it out. So there we can see the rubber strap. So this is the rubber strap that comes, a very, very nice addition that keeps the props in place. Here we can see the battery compartment. And here's the battery. And the battery is confirmed with a voltage of 7.7 volt, like we knew. And does it say something else that we need to know here? 2250 milliamp hours, which was also what we got in the information that we got from the FCC database. So there's been a lot of speculations on the front of the drone, if there would be sensors or not. And again, this picture shows even more clearly that there is no sensors in here. This is just a ventilation hole that is there for ventilation purposes. So, and this crack here, I am pretty convinced this is also an air vent. Maybe because of the increased capabilities of the camera and higher bitrate, they need better cooling for the camera. There is something different with the prop mount. It's not exactly the same as in the previous model. It's like there's this metal bar that goes across where you are screwing in the props. Could this be a quick release plate? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it. It seems it's more or less the same alley as the old system for mounting the props. So there is a clear picture of the rear of the drone, and there are absolutely no sensors located here. So sensors is definitely off. That leads to an obvious question. Does the Mini 2, will that provide active track or follow me mode? But I would say it leaves the Mini 2 in the same place as the Mini 1. If active track and follow me is going to be supported, that will be a pure decision from DJI, because we already know that to some extent it is possible when using a third-party app from Litchi. In there you have tracking capabilities, so it's just a matter of DJI deciding if they want to implement it or not. Many of you have asked if the RAW capabilities will be a possibility with the Mavic Mini. This has not been possible to verify from either of the videos despite countless questions in the comments about this. But I can tell you that I believe that you will get RAW capabilities. And the reason why I can verify that is that I have reached out to my source within the industry and he has verified that the RAW capabilities will be part of the Mini 2. Increasing the wind resistance is a really nice addition where we're going from level 4 from the previous model to level 5 now, where it's capable of resisting wind up from 8.5 to 10.5 meters per second. So finally we might get a drone that is cow fighting resistant as well. You know what I mean? There's been a few questions about the camera, and right now what I know, it's a 12 megapixel 1 or 2/3 sensor that we know from the previous Mavic Air. The lens has a field of view of 83 degrees in a 35mm format, equal to a 24mm aperture f2.8. And it is capable of shooting 4K, 24, 25 and 30 FPS. The drone will also be capable of shooting 2.7K in 24, 25 and 30 frames per second like the previous Mavic Air, the previous Mavic Mini. And it will be capable of shooting HD at 24, 25, 30, 48, 50 and 60 FPS. One of the other big questions is the data transfer rate, and that is going to be 100 megabit per second. I'm pretty convinced about that because going from 40 megabit per second to 60 megabit per second and increasing from 2.7 to 4K resolution will not make much sense. At least it will not improve the overall image quality. So they need to bump that to at least 100 megabit per second. There's been a lot of questions about the compatibility between the batteries between the old and new drone. In the video he actually shows that it is possible to mount the original Mavic Mini battery into the Mini 2. I knew this was possible because that was verified by my own source, but it does come at a price if you decide to reuse your old batteries. The drone will exceed the 249 gram limit, and it will probably also have limited motor power because the voltage of the battery will drop from 7.7 watt down to 7.2. It's a nice possibility to have for sure. A lot of you asked very specific questions about the flight modes and what you can do and what you can't do and why didn't he fly the drone in his video. And that's quite simple because DJI have not released the product yet, so they haven't released a version of the DJI Fly app that will actually connect to the drone. So it makes it very difficult for him. Even though he has gotten the drone in his hands, I don't think that he can fly it. Maybe he can manually override it with the CSC commands and start the motors and get it airborne, but he will not be able to use the app. So launching the drone with the CSC stick commands and maybe pressing the record button might explain what the drone footage is that was included in the last part of the unboxing video. There was a guy that was commenting below my video that you did not pick up all the details about the drone. You did not mention there was a USB-C in the base of the drone instead of the micro USB that is being used right now. That is true. I had the information, but I decided not to include it to keep the length of the video down. But as it is right now, you will be using a USB-C cable to dock into the drone instead of the regular micro USB that you have been using in the past. That's a nice addition to get rid of that horrible connection. And of course, like in the last video, I recommend that you head over to Our Beatific World and show this guy some sweet loving for showing all this stuff with us. It for sure looks interesting, and I am going to get the Mavic Mini 2, which is now called the DJI Mini 2. I just need to get used to that. I will for sure get one. What about you? Are you upgrading? Let me know in the comment below. Finally, there's the price points. It turns out that our guy at Our Beatific World, he paid $5.99 for the Fly More combo, and it turns out that the pricing will be around $4.49 for the standalone drone. In case you're all over the place with Mini 2 content and can't simply get enough and want to see some of the other videos that I've made about this topic, then I'll compile a playlist that you can access through this card. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you around.